Greetings. This is Balakrishna again. Welcome to BALAS Accountancy Special Classes. Well, today we are taking up a chapter, Rectification of Errors. Here is human. Accountant, as a human being, is likely to commit mistakes while recording the transactions in the books of original entry, such as cash book, journal, and other subsidiary books, etc. And also mistakes are inevitable while posting them to ledger accounts, balancing the ledger, extracting the balances for the purpose of preparing trial balance, and while finalizing the trial balance itself. It's essential to locate and rectify errors. Otherwise, profit and loss account will not disclose the true profit or loss of the business, and the balance sheet will not present a true and fair view of the financial position of the business, an utmost important requirement. Errors should never be corrected by overwriting or erasing because it reduces the authenticity of account records. It reduces the authenticity of accounting records and gives the impression that something is being concealed. Methods of rectification depends on the stage at which the errors are rectified. It may be located in the books of original entry itself before posting to the ledger. In that case, instead of overwriting or erasing, it may be corrected by neatly crossing out the wrong figure by a single line and writing the correct figure above the crossed figure. However, if the mistake is located after posting to the ledger, I repeat, after posting to the ledger, it should be corrected by passing a suitable journal entry. Further, from the rectification point of view, all errors can be classified into the following two categories. First one, errors which do not affect the trial balance. That's called two-sided errors or double-sided errors. Second one, errors which affect the trial balance. That's otherwise called one-sided errors. Well, in this episode, I am scheduling only the first case, that is double-sided errors. Errors not affecting the trial balance. Errors which affect two accounts simultaneously are called two-sided errors. I repeat, errors which affect two accounts simultaneously are called two-sided errors. Well, it is better I switch over to the sharing mode for the remaining part of this video so that it will facilitate you better. Thank you. Well, two-sided errors. Types of errors. One, the first one is omission to pass an entry in the books of original records. Two, wrong recording of a transaction in the books of original records. Three, posting to the wrong account. And the fourth one, errors of principle. How to rectify a double-sided errors? The best way is this one. 3 steps: correct entry, wrong entry, rectification. Well, I'll give you one example each of these types of errors with the explanation and the necessary rectification. Thank you. Before I give you this example, I have a request. Kindly watch my initial 3 videos at least. In case you are not mastered the art of generalizing and you have got a fair knowledge about the ledger, etc., you won't be able to make out anything. So it is essential that you master all those things. How to generalize a transaction, what are the principles involved, and what is the technique of having it posted, etc. What's a ledger, etc. You should know that. Well, I'm taking up the case 1. Omission to pass an entry in the books of original records. An example being credit sales to Ram not recorded 7,000. What they said, this transaction itself has not been accounted. So just account. That's a full-fledged solution. What's the journal entry? Ram account data to sales. This one entry from the grassroots level I'm explaining. However, it won't be practicable to explain every correct entry with the grassroots level. For that, you have no choice but to watch my initial videos 1, 2, 3. From the grassroots level, I have taken a student in those videos. Well, it is like that. Two aspects is RAM and sales. RAM is a personal account. Sales means sales of goods, real account. Personal account, the golden rule says debit the receiver. RAM is the receiver from the point of view of the business. Hence, he has been debited. And a real account says credit what goes out. Sales has been credited. Kindly watch my initial videos and show a narration also. Credit sales omitted to be recorded in the books. Okay. Now, case 2. Wrong recording of a transaction in the books of original records. Example, goods purchased from Banerjee for rupees 10,000 were recorded as rupees 100. So, journal accounting heads have been properly operated. Okay, but only thing amount wrongly given. So, correct entry would have been purchase account debtor 10,000 to Banerjee 10,000, whereas the accountant has shown instead of 10,000, 1,000 each. So, just give the supplementary entry. Purchase account debtor 9,000 to Banerjee 9,000. This two makes this entry. Okay. Credit purchaser recorded as rupees 1,000 instead of rupees 10,000. That's all. So case 3. Posting to wrong account. Example. Credit sales to Goban rupees 12,000 were recorded in purchases book. Sales are to be entered in the sales book. By making an entry in the sales book means a journal entry is implied. That means party to sales. Whereas you have entered into purchase book. Purchase book, if you enter an entry, make an entry, it means purchase account debtor to the supplier. Okay. So here credit sales to Goban 12,000 were recorded in purchase book. Had you properly recorded, the correct entry would have been Goban to sales account. Whereas, since instead of entering in the sales book, you are entered in the purchase book means the wrong entry is that purchase account debtor to Goban. Now the rectification account. Sales account is pending a credit. So give a credit. Purchase account has been unnecessarily debited to nullify credit. I repeat, party has to be given double effect because he has been unnecessarily credited instead of debiting. So 24,000, 12,000 into 2, 24,000. Purchase account has been unnecessarily debited. To nullify it, let us credit it. Sales account is pending a credit. Show it. That's all. And narration being credit sales to Goban wrongly recorded in the purchase book. Credit for errors of principal. Errors of principal, the basic lessons. Okay. Instead of revenue account, you are showing a capital account. That's the main thing, or vice versa. Well, an example. Paid wages for construction of office debited to wages account rupees 20,000. It's a very basic rule is that if you incur an expenditure towards construction of an asset by wages or any kind of expenditure, material, etc., the asset account itself should be debited, not the very wages account or material account. Okay. Wages means wages incurred towards trading. Extra is called wages. Okay. Or for manufacturing purpose. For the items to be sold or to be manufactured. For selling purpose. Right. Whereas this, you are acquiring an asset, you are constructing an asset. So any expenditure related to that has to be debited to the asset account itself. So the correct entry will be, it's an office means office building. So building account debtor to cash or bank. We do not know. So for example purpose, I'm showing it may be by cash or by bank. So building account debtor to cash or bank, 20,000. That's the correct entry. Unfortunately, you are shown wages account debtor 20,000 to cash or bank. So cash or bank is okay. It has been properly credited. So whereas wages has been unnecessarily debited, we have to credit, and building is requiring a debit. So building account debtor to wages account. So rectification of entry is very interesting thing only. It gives you an in-depth knowledge about the double entry accounting. Okay. The journal narration will be, being the wages paid for construction of office wrongly debited to wages account, now rectified. Well, students, before concluding this video, let me take a few more instances of double-sided errors. Exclusively, I repeat, exclusively, this errors of principle. Reason being, I have seen many of my students committing mistake in choosing the proper accounting head while rectifying. So it's better I explain to a few more cases. Well, first one, paid cartage for the newly purchased furniture, rupees 1,000 posted to the cartage account. Obviously, you are shown in the cash book. In the credit side of your cash book, you are shown by furniture. You should have shown by furniture, whereas you are shown by cartage account. That means a journal entry what you have made is obviously cartage account debted to cash or bank. Whereas this purchase is not to be considered as an usual purchase. Usual purchase means the item you have purchased to be traded or to be sold out. Furniture has not been purchased for the purpose of selling. It has been purchased to be kept as an asset. Okay. So I have to account it in the furniture account itself, in the asset account itself. Obviously, the entry will be furniture account debted to cash or bank, or show in the credit side of your cash book by furniture account. Means this journal entry. Whereas you have shown in the credit side of your cash book by cartage account, resulting in cartage account debted to cash or bank. So how to rectify it? We need to obviously debit furniture account. So debit it. Unnecessarily cartage account has been debited, have it credited. So the rectification has taken place. Show the relevant narration. Being the cartage paid to newly purchased furniture wrongly posted to cartage account, now rectified. Okay. Second, paid rupees 10,000 for the installation of the machinery debited to wages account. Any expenditure incurred in connection with installation or procurement of an asset has to be debited to the concerned asset account itself and not to the relevant expenditure account. So, okay, analyze in the way I explained just before. In respect of the above mentioned entry, you will arrive at machinery account debted to wages account, being the amount paid for installation of machinery wrongly debited to wages account, now rectified. Third one, purchase machinery for rupees 50,000 passed through the purchase book. Obviously, it's a credit transaction because you resort to purchase book or sales book only when you make a credit purchase or credit sales. So the wrong entry, having made an entry in the purchase book means you have obviously passed this journal entry, purchase account debted to vendor account, because the debit aspect of a purchase day book, subsidiary book, is always purchase account. And the vendor name, whatever you are showing, is credited. For example, you are just showing X 25,000 in the purchase book means it's implied. It's a journal entry. Purchase account debted to X 25,000. Okay. Now, what's the rectification? You have unnecessarily debited purchase account. It needs to be obviously credited. And our machinery account needs a pending debit. So machinery account debted to purchase account. And please show your narration as being the purchase of machinery wrongly passed through the purchase book, now rectified. Fourth one, sale of old furniture for rupees 12,000 was passed through the sales book. Here also, you have operated the sales book means it's a credit transaction. If you just enter an amount in the sales day book against a particular party, let us say Mr. K, 25,000 means, it means K account debted to sales. It is implied. In a sales day book, credit aspect is sales and debit aspect is invariably the party. So you have having entered this one in the sales day book, you have obviously made this journal entry, customer account debtor to sales account. Whereas this is not a sales property. You sold off, you disposed of your asset, your furniture, no longer required. Okay. So furniture, when you originally purchased, you obviously debited furniture account. Okay, not purchase account or anything like that. It is in the asset account itself, you booked it. So credit the asset account. And obviously, customer has to be debited. So customer has been taken care of. So rectification entry will be unnecessarily you have credited sales. So debit sales. And our furniture is pending a credit. Have it credited. And the narration being, billed sale of all furniture passed through the sales book, now rectified. The last one. Pay rupees 4,000 for newly purchased table fan posted to purchase account. Table fan is an office equipment item only. Okay. So the entry will be office equipment to cash or bank, or show in the credit side of your cash book buy office equipment, resulting in this journal entry only. Okay. Whereas in the credit side of your cash book. Okay. So you are shown in the credit side of your cash book buy purchase 4,000 instead of buy office equipment. So there is a wrong debit of purchase that has to be obviously credited and nullified, and our office equipment is pending a debit that has to be debited. So entry will be office equipment account debtor to purchase account 4,000. So analyze like this and learn. Watch this video over and over. Get the concept very thorough so that you will make any entry very comfortably. You propose a journal entry. I mean a rectification entry. So narration is being the purchase of table fan wrongly posted to purchase account, now rectified. Well, students, I want to mention incidentally, in your exam perhaps they may not expect this correct entry, wrong entry, only the rectification entry with the narration only may be expected of you. You better check up with your teacher and do it. But it's better always learn like this. In your workings, you can show it. Okay. Thank you. Have a nice day. See you again.